Hello and welcome to my latest career video, and this career video we're jumping back to heavyweight, to highlight Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler, who will of course join my heavyweight playlist. So let us start on Jack Dempsey by going to his major opponents. Now Jack Dempsey fought and defeated Battling Levinsky in a singular fight. He also defeated Jess Willard of course in that Brutefest showdown in 1919, and then he also held a win, an early win, fourth round over Georges Carpentier. Next on the list is Gene Tunney. Jack Dempsey fought him on two occasions, of course losing both fights, but he did also fight and defeat current Hall of Famer now, former heavyweight champion Jack Sharkey in a singular fight, and also three times beat the excellent Billy Misk, a worthy Hall of Famer, so 3 from 3. Next up is Tommy Gibbons, whom Dempsey said trying to land a punch on his chin was like trying to thread a needle in high wind. Good evening, Martin. Good to see you, buddy. Gibbons was the only fighter to take Dempsey the 15-round distance in a title fight, showing how good Tommy Gibbons actually was. He lost on points, but went the full 15 rounds, frustrated Dempsey throughout the fight. Next up is Hall of Famer, a fighter who I don't believe in any way, shape or form should be in the Hall of Fame simply because he gets knocked down 7 times in a round and a half. That is Luis Angel Firpo. Next up is fireman Jim Flynn. Dempsey fought him on 2 occasions, scoring 1 win, 1 loss and no draw. And then he had a 5-fight series, with the spoiler, awkward style of Willie Meehan. Now Dempsey scored 1 win with 2 losses and 2 draws against Willie Meehan. He also twice fought former heavyweight contender Gunboat Smith, winning both fights. And Dempsey twice defeated Bill Brennan. Could never defeat him with as consummate ease as Harry Greb could. Harry Greb danced rings round Brennan, beat him very easily. Dempsey had more serious fights against Brennan, who was a known puncher, a heavyweight contender. Dempsey beat him twice. He also twice defeated Porky Dan Flynn, and Dempsey also defeated the giant puncher Fred Fulton in a singular fight. So there's 25 fights highlighted there for Dempsey. He scored 18 wins with 5 losses and 2 draws. So going on to Dempsey's stats, Dempsey scored 44 knockouts in his career, a massive 31 of them were in 3 rounds or less, and Dempsey scored also 20 first round wins, so nearly half of all his knockouts were first round wins. Now Dempsey scored 4 KOs against champions, 6 KOs against Hall of Famers and 3 KOs against pound for pounders. Now even though Dempsey fought into the rating era, the bulk of his career was before the rating era. He only had a handful of fights after, so he scored 2 KOs against rated fighters, of course a number that would be higher had ratings been around for his whole career. And Dempsey really didn't fight that many career rounds for his career size. I mean, partially in his era, this is not a lot of rounds, 342, but we must also remember he doesn't have a 150, 200 fight career, and also he was an explosive puncher, so lots of early finishers. Dempsey fought 59 title fight rounds, and he fought totals of 37 rounds against champions, 73 rounds against Hall of Famers, and 61 rounds against pound for pound fighters. Jake Ashton, Money Man, fantastic to see you. I don't think I've seen you since I closed my old channel down. It's good to see you. Hope you're well. Yeah, things are going okay across pond. Just very explosive at the moment. It's in the UK what we call, midweek it was Guy Fawkes night, known as Bonfire Night. So a lot of people, when Bonfire Night falls in midweek, they save a lot of the fireworks and the displays for the Saturday after, the weekend when more people are at home. So yeah, it's still a bit explosive here at the moment. So, but good to see you, but I hope you're well. So, rounds against top 10 fighters, Dempsey scored 44, again, in reduced numbers due to his small amount of fights in the rating era. He also fought 42 rounds against top 3 rated fighters and 27 rounds against ring champions. So on to the slide against champions. For Jack Dempsey, he had 6 fights against champions with a record of 4 wins, 2 losses, no draws. You count that against Sam Langford's 80 plus fights against champions, puts things in perspective. Now Dempsey beat 4 individual champions. They were Battling Levinsky, Jess Willard, Georges Carpentier and Jack Sharkey. And he also knocked or stopped out all of them in fights. Levinsky, Willard, Carpentier and Jack Sharkey. Good shout, Paul Gaskell as well. Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. So Dempsey stopped every champion he defeated in a ring. So on to the Hall of Fame slide. Dempsey's largest tally. Okay, he had 11 fights against Hall of Famers. Dempsey scoring 9 wins, 2 losses and no draws. Now Dempsey beat 7 Hall of Famers now with the addition of Luis Angel Firpo, a fighter who I don't think should be anywhere near the Hall of Fame, as said, and I will keep saying it because I never understand the mentality of putting him in. But, you know, that's not my decision. The other 6 Hall of Famers he defeated, in addition to Firpo, were Billy Misk, Bartlin Levinsky, Jess Willard, Georges Carpentier, Tommy Gibbons and Jack Sharkey, and he scored knockouts or stoppage over 6 of those 7 Hall of Famers. Only Tommy Gibbons, as I mentioned, went the distance with him. So the 6 Hall of Famers he knocked out individually were Billy Misk, Bartlin Levinsky, Jess Willard, Georges Carpentier, Luis Angel Firpo and Jack Sharkey. So on to the pound for pound slide. Dempsey had 8 fights against pound for pounders. I haven't put all of them on there, okay, but Georges Carpentier is another, and Tommy Gibbons is another. So his record against pound for pounders is 6 wins, 2 losses, no draw. He defeated 4 individual pound for pounders: Billy Misk, Bartlin Levinsky, Tommy Gibbons, and Georges Carpentier, and he scored knockouts over 3. You see what I've done there? I've changed the 4, but I haven't put the new names in. I got broken off. It's lucky I've got a memory. I've got, yeah, the other 2 are Carpentier and Tommy Gibbons. So from those 4 pound for pounders he beat individually, Jack Dempsey knocked or stopped out 3 of them: Billy Misk, Bartlin Levinsky and Georges Carpentier. So basically, out of all the champions and Hall of Famers that Jack Dempsey beat, the only one who went the distance was Tommy Gibbons. Okay, so big shout out to Gibbons. He was the only fighter in those categories that was not stopped by Dempsey in one of their fights. So let us move on, okay, to our next slide, which is rated opponents. Now Dempsey, of course, only had a handful of fights at the end of his career in the rating era. He has a record of 5 fights against top 10 fighters, including 3 wins, 2 losses, no draws. He had 4 fights against top 3 rated fighters, including 2 wins, 2 losses, no draw. And he had 3 fights against ring champions, including 1 win with 2 losses and no draws. Dempsey defeated 3 individual rated fighters, and he scored knockouts over 2 individual rated fighters. Again, the fighter he didn't stop was the same Tommy Gibbons. So on to title fight stats. Now Jack Dempsey had a total of 8 world title fights. Okay, he had a record of 6 wins, 2 losses, no draws. He made 5 title defences, and courtesy of Tommy Gibbons again, from his 6 title fight wins he scored 5 title fight KOs. Now Dempsey scored 2 wins against top 10 fighters in title fights, 1 win against a top 3 fighter and 0 wins against ring champions. Obviously numbers would be higher had ratings been around his whole career. Against champions he scored 2 wins in title fights. He scored 5 wins against Hall of Famers from his 6 title fight wins, and he also scored 3 wins against pound for pounders in title fights. So on to world titles for Jack Dempsey. Of course, he captured the world heavyweight title from Jess Willard in 1919 with that brutish and vicious demolition of Jess Willard. He was also lineal heavyweight champion of the world and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So my apologies for missing Carpentier and Gibbons off that pound for pound list. That is 4 fighters. That's as easy as it is. You see, I always tell people it's easy to make a mistake. You know, I don't edit my mistakes. I spot them for the most part. So, you know, I was obviously typing that, got distracted, come back, thought, oh, I'll finish that and gone on to the next one. It's easily done. We're only human. So, yeah, but interesting thing is with Dempsey is the big credit to Tommy Gibbons. He was the only fighter who went the distance in a world title win that Dempsey scored. I say win because Tony, of course, went the distance twice with him. And he was the only Hall of Famer champion or pound for pounder who also was not stopped by Jack Dempsey at some point or other. So, you know, it kind of shows how good Tommy Gibbons was. Have I done Tommy Gibbons' video yet? I don't think I have, actually. I'll have to do his video because he had an incredible resume himself. In fact, Tommy Gibbons in over 100 fights. The only fighters he lost to, can I remember them all, is Billy Misk, Jack Dempsey, Gene Tunney and Harry Greb twice, I think. They're Tommy Gibbons' 5 losses, if I remember correctly. So they are Billy Misk, you know, Greb, Dempsey, Tunney, they're the only fighters who ever beat Tommy Gibbons. That's how good he was. So to be also the only fighter who went the distance with Dempsey in a heavyweight title fight that Dempsey won, it's also a great testament to his defensive survival skills. As Dempsey said, trying to tag him clean is like trying to thread a needle in high wind. Because Gibbons is well known for the big knockout run he went on, blowing everybody away on that long unbeaten run. Well, lots of knockouts before Greb then defeated him with that incredible 1922 performance where even Dempsey was amazed at ringside at how well Greb fought and how easily he was whipping Tommy Gibbons. That was the fight where Gibbons said the punches came from everywhere, from the auditorium, from the ring, from the roof, from underneath my boxing boots. Gloves were coming from everywhere. So, Gibbons showed his defensive skills there too. But there's the video for Jack Dempsey, okay, so we'll join my heavyweight playlist. Coming tomorrow, a bigger video. I'm debating on Young Earn or Leo Florian Hook. I'll decide tomorrow, but yeah, more videos coming over coming days, weeks. Big shout out to people in the chat, Martin and Paul, and especially to J Cash the Money Man, who I haven't seen since my old channel. So great stuff. Good to see you again. More videos coming. I'm the Boxing Librarian. I'm out for now.